Growing up in Blanding, you'd think life was simple. Well, it was, but that didn't mean it was devoid of adventures, especially for a kid with a fiery spirit and two younger sidekicks always by his side. Every day after school or during those long, drawn-out summer breaks, Heather, Lane, and I would embark on some sort of mischief or another. We were inseparable, a trio of buddies always finding new ways to explore the world around us. But it was that hill, that looming concrete slope just outside our home, which became the stage for one of my most infamous escapades. From the safety of our front yard, we'd watch the older kids ride their bikes down the hill. They'd shoot past with such grace, bikes humming, tires flashing, threading the needle between a solid brick stem wall on one side and a stubborn telephone pole on the other, expertly navigating the tight gap at the bottom. To my young, impressionable eyes, they were superheroes, demigods of the downhill, and I desperately wanted in on the action. Man, I'll never forget that day. My bike at the time still sported those training wheels, but in my head, oh, those wheels were already gone. One particular day, the itch got too strong to ignore. I snuck into our garage, rifled through Dad's toolbox, and found what I needed. I might not have known much about tools back then, but determination? I had loads of it. With a grunt and a bit of struggle, those training wheels were off, and I was beaming with pride. Heather and Lane cheered me on, their excited yells echoing my own racing heart. Pushing off, the world transformed. The rush of wind, the feeling of weightlessness, it was pure exhilaration. But then, as the bottom neared and reality struck, exhilaration turned to sheer panic. I tried steering, tried to align my trajectory with that narrow passage, but it was too late. With all the breath my lungs had inside them, I yelled out, "Oh, crap!" The impact was immediate and jarring. The wind was knocked out of me, every ounce of breath trapped in a tight knot in my chest. When the world stopped spinning, our neighbor Jim stood over me, a blend of concern and amusement playing on his face. "Quite the entrance, young man," he chuckled, helping me to my feet. Every step back up that hill felt like a marathon, but Jim's gentle reassurance and the excited chatter of Heather and Lane turned my fall into a badge of honor. It hurt, no doubt, but the pride of having tried, of having taken that leap of faith, that felt darn good. Despite the scrapes and the bruises, I learned something that day. Life's about taking off those training wheels and facing the challenges head on. And you know what? Sometimes you just gotta crash and get back up again. It's not an instant perfection, but in the relentless effort to keep pushing until you succeed. This was also the beginning of countless adventures, a memory etched in our collective sibling lore, a chip on my shoulder, a mark of bravery that set the stage for a lifetime of daring escapades.